Tens of thousands of football fans came to Highbury. Electrifying.
Yes, guys, and welcome back to the Unhinged, the Undefeated, and the Unbreakable TCP Live, coming at you live at 7:30 p.m., which is exactly the time, isn't it, everyone?
Shocking, isn't it?
Thursday evening on YouTube and available ad-free on YouTube memberships and Patreon. Welcome back to the Great Shout by Alex podcast. Welcome back to the Rohan G-Van podcast. Welcome back to your weekly dose of hilarity and fun on a Thursday night. How are we, guys? Hi, Rohan.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm in a rush. I was in a rush to get back here. I left the office.
It's not good enough, is it, chat? It's not good enough.
I work hard to bring you guys quality content.
I was here at 5 p.m.
People are asking in the chat, to be fair, who was late. He wasn't here at 5 p.m. You're normally the one who's late. Let's be clear.
It's not. That's a load of rubbish.
It is. You're normally the one who's late.
No, not a chance. That's not true. Can I just say, that's the best kit of all time.
You love this kit. You always.
That is the best kit of all time, Arsenal-wise. I'm not having any of the nostalgia.
This black kit, the black kit from 22-23. By the way, the measure of you as a fan is how much you back your club during
and buy the kits.
No, during the hard times, and how much you buy the kits. We're going to talk about kits. Yep. We're going to talk the manager of the season, player of the season, young player of the season nominations. I have a lot to say about that. But we are going to do, and we're also going to do a stay or go. Basically, the chunk of this will be a stay or go. I did one on Saturday Social in this very jacket. Actually, I thought it'd be interesting to do it on TCP Live. A bit more time to go into the details. Maybe find a little bit of disagreement, a bit of debate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm ready because you've done a 360 on one, haven't you, from last summer?
A 360.
Yeah.
Do you mean a 180?
Yeah, 180.
This kit is elite. It's absolutely elite.
It is.
This is the best Arsenal kit, in my opinion.
Of all time.
Released. Of all time.
Yes. Tell me a kit that is better than this one, than the 22-23.
People saying in the chat, Burgundy.
No, that's a close second. It is a close second, but this, just look at the 22-23. It's so clean. Like
Reese says, pink kit was better.
Well, I disagree.
But you generally, as a person, you have a black aesthetic, like as in like you love wearing black.
I do like wearing black.
Yeah.
I like wearing white as well. I don't like wearing like red really. That's why I don't have many home kits actually. I don't have many Arsenal. Yeah.
Lewis is asking if you're on the payroll for say the all time kit.
I think it is though, isn't it?
Do you have? I can't remember seeing you wearing colour. Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah, I don't wear colour much. No.
How have I not noticed this? This is so true.
I don't know. I do wear like
white Adidas stuff. When you
I've got my pale like shirts as well that I wear on holiday, but it's not like anything really vibrant.
Yeah, but it kind of works for you. Do you know who's the same? Lawrence McKenna. I work from his office now. He's always all black. It's like his thing.
Yeah, like what you're wearing there, you pull it off. I don't think I could pull it off.
I think you could. Why don't me and you go shopping and stream it?
A vlog.
Would people watch that?
High Street.
Me and Rohan shopping. But like, hey guys, he's down there. Because you're small. Prem PV says your hair's looking good today, Rohan.
Thank you.
Technically, white is it all colours? I don't know what I mean. Sorry, Daniel. Hello, it's me. Says Arsenal 07-08 away kit, white with the writing is top tier. Yeah, that was nice. It was good for its time, is what I'd say.
But come on, like this kit is just the best. 2023 is just
we'll get into it. Benji says the gold with Sega sponsor is gorgeous.
Yeah, that's a good one. But again, I think the burgundy is the closest, personally.
So in terms of the tier list, you go 22-23 away kit.
Yep, burgundy.
But do you think also, I think we talked about this before, but do you think it's slightly biased by that season and the way we were?
No, genuinely. I don't think so. For me personally, not. No. like when I saw that kit, that was before ball was kicked. I got that kit, and I've only got one Arsenal top in the past decade. I think it might be even more actually.
Forder says 95, 96 away.
I can't remember what that looks like actually.
You don't know white is made of all colours. I don't know what this means. As in, white is an amalgamation of all colour. I don't know that. I don't know things. Sorry, guys, to ruin everyone's illusion.
I've done too much thinking today. I can't think through that.
I don't know what I didn't know white was all colours. No, I thought white was just a colour.
I want to see the 95, 96 kit.
Have a little look. While you're doing that, let's have a look at the kit that was released today. Arsenal released the new 25-26 home kit. Here it is with Ethan Waneri.
Yeah, it's good, 95, 96, but there's levels to this. It's levels.
Big fan of Ethan going to 22 and Raya going to 1, by the way. Big fan of it. Big fan of it. I think it's a bit too early for Ethan 10. I think he needs probably his season where he gets in the team before I give him that.
Do you really care about this stuff, though?
I do. And do you know what?
I
used to be even worse for kits. It would really annoy me if, like, do you remember Bakary Sagna wore a 3?
Yeah.
Fuming.
What? Because you think he should be a left back?
It's a 2. If you're right, but you should be. I'm less militant these days.
Yeah. So left back would be number 3, right?
It should be number 3. Why are you wearing number 3? Not having it. It's utter unwoke nonsense. What it is. Thoughts on the kit? I genuinely, when I saw it, I thought that's the best home shirt I think we've released. Maybe since the first Adidas kit, 1920.
This is the best one.
Yeah, I really.
This is so. Do you know the only thing that ruins it for me is the Adidas stripes on the sleeve don't go all the way. I'd want it to go all the way personally.
I really like the collar.
If you look at the detail as well of the A that's spread across it, it's actually like it's very, very clean. I might get this one. I think I will get it. Yeah.
I like a collar like that. I think when I saw it up close, I thought the A would be like a little bit overpowering. Yeah. But actually, when you look back, it just looks really, really faint. It looks really cool.
Yeah, and the badge just in white, plain white. It's
absolutely lovely. The only issue is, Rohan, how much is it? £85.
So you have inflation, right? And this is hyperinflation.
£85 for a home kit.
It's mental. Do you remember back in the day when they were 30 quid? Mate.
No, I wasn't alive. But they were probably about 50 quid when I was a kid. £85. Prem POV says, Rohan, mate, only opinions from people over 4'2" are valid, I'm afraid. Bucko.
Bucko. It's very aggressive.
I haven't heard someone call anyone Bucko in years. I love it. Daniel says, I love it. Only thing missing is the cannon instead of the full badge, but the shade of red is. But that's a good point, Daniel. The shade of red is lovely.
Yeah.
The shade of red is.
Do you know what? The stripes is actually annoying me now. It should go all the way.
Who's trimming their lawn at 7:44 in the evening?
It's a bit more mild now, isn't it? It's a bit more mild in the heat. Probably didn't fancy it.
Josh Miller says $100. That is absolute. What do you think in an ideal world? What should a football shirt cost?
50 quid.
I'd agree with that.
That's fair. I think that's fair. Yeah, but and then if you want authentic, then like 70.
But am I gonna pay £85? More than you believe.
But how are you one of them who always gets it regardless of what it looks like? Like there's some people who get all the kits. Like
I didn't get a single kit for 24-25, and I'm glad I didn't. Because they didn't deserve my money.
I've only had one kit in the past decade, and that was the 22-23. So I'm very picky.
Oh, literally the black one. That's it. That's the only kit.
Yeah.
Really?
Literally, I'm like, it's really I gotta feel it. Feel the connection, and I've not really felt it personally. Some people are, oh, it's always good, isn't it? It's always good. No, it's not always good. We've had some stinkers as well.
We have had some stinkers. So. I didn't get anything in 24-25. I didn't get anything in. Oh no, I got the home kit for 23-24 because I quite like the home kit that year, but I prefer this home kit. And I actually got 2 of the. Do you remember the blue kit from?
You thinking the Arshavin? season?
No, maybe 2021.
2021.
The blue.
Oh right.
No, not.
No, it was 2017, 18, wasn't it?
No, 21, 22. I've just looked it up. 21, 22. This one. That one. I've got 2 of these. I love this kit.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. I don't love it as much now, but back in 21, 22, mate, I was all over this kit. I've also got that with Saka on the back, but that was a present, to be fair.
That was the kit that went to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Remember?
No, that was the piss yellow kit.
Was it?
This was, yeah.
No, Oh, yeah, it was. You're right.
Yeah. KT, Alex Lacazette towing his truck in that kit. Christ. The burning urge to send a Gaelic super chat, says Bulishan. You should do it, Bulishan. I wouldn't know how to
respond.
Read Gaelic, but we could do it. Thank you so much for your super chat. Appreciate it. Ivan Smith says, I bought the 24-25 home kit and I don't think Arsenal won a single game when I wore it. Well, it's your fault then, isn't it, Ivan?
It's like my record recently at the Emirates. God.
Yeah, what is that?
Not good.
Yeah.
Seen us lose to West Ham. Saw us draw to Brighton. Draw against Villa. Lost to PSG.
Yeah.
The wins I've seen, Southampton and Leicester.
And you were probably fuming about the Leicester one, right?
Yeah.
I think I might lose my only win I've ever seen. Oh, sorry, only loss I've ever seen is City, because I'm going to the Newcastle game on Sunday. And mate,
will be fine.
Who have we got, bro? Who have we got?
More than enough.
More.
More than enough. Don't you think overthinking it too much? We've got enough.
Don't overthink it. Keep it in that end. Keep it out of that end. Say or go, win the dog, says Reggie. We'll be certainly coming to I think keep win, but maybe buy a dog called Draw as well.
We need a Rottweiler. That's what we need.
Called Draw?
No, we'll call it the name that I've given to my Rottweiler, Rocky.
That's nice, actually. Rocky Road Castle. We love that. Yeah. Rohan, stop talking about kids.
We've not spoke about the Liverpool game, actually, haven't we?
Oh, I don't want to.
Do you know what it is, though? I wanted to say one thing, right?
What were your main takeaways? Go on.
No, forget about the tactics and all that, right? They wanted to crush us. I'm adamant that they absolutely wanted to batter us. Now, in the grand scheme of things, they don't care about the result. Because the day after, they were in flipping Ocean Beach with Wayne Lineker and just, on the boozer. But they wanted to crush us. And I think that's why it was important that we didn't roll over. So, you've got your boozer with Wayne Lineker, but you didn't batter us. So, yeah.
I didn't listen to the main podcast. Did you two have a love-in about Martinelli or something while I was away?
George did.
Oh, of course.
I was there as well. Adding a bit more.
Bulishan. Oh, Christ. If you're Amadan at Atan and Rob Holding. What have I said there, though? I realised I didn't.
So has Dan Ballard got more appearances in the Championship this season than Rob Holding?
Can you try that? Can you try that?
No, I absolutely can't.
I'm trying to do like an Irish accent. Wait, I thought Gaelic was. Oh my god! I really offended someone on a night out because I didn't know what Irish was. I didn't know. I thought Irish people just spoke English once. I was like 18. I didn't know, and I really offended her.
I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah. I can't have been 18 then. When was I? When was that? Was that recently?
No, it can't have been 18. I'm pretty sure it was recent.
If it was when I knew you, then it was only a couple of years ago. Maybe it was only a couple of years ago. She Fior Amadan at Tahan and Rob Holding. I don't. Bulishan, I'm so sorry.
I'll pronounce it. It'll be incredibly wrong, and I don't want to cause any offense to.
Why don't you do it? Because you won't sing. You won't show your hairline.
I did sing, actually.
Try this. He's paid. Bulishan's paid. Come on.
I can't do it.
Chat, we're not moving on till he does it.
I can't do that. You will not peer pressure me. We'll both sit like this.
Chat, I'm not the one holding up the show at this point. It's just Rohan. He won't read out a super chat.
I've had a very busy day. I can sit back.
A loyal supporter of the Cannon podcast has paid money for you to read something that you would agree with, by the way.
Fine, I'll do it. Fine. If you're a modern Rhiannon and Rob Holding. I think mine was better than yours.
Yeah, it probably was. Right. Yeah, the Liverpool game. You felt they wanted to beat us?
They wanted to smash. They wanted to go to Ocean Beach on a high, really happy. And they were still really happy, obviously, but they weren't as happy. So we won that small little battle.
Yeah. Oh,
still on the booze with Wayne.
Lucky for us.
That is questionable. But
I'm so done with this season. I can't be bothered.
We still got a secure second, my friend.
Oh, bro, I can't be bothered. Boo, Alex, for peer pressuring my sweet Prince Rohan. Do you remember when that person commented and said that I was bullying you?
See, you could never bully me because I'd have you. You know that.
You would have me. You would definitely have me. Do you think I'd bully you, Rohan?
No, don't be silly.
Can you tell the audience that I really love you?
You really hate me.
No, I love you. Any further reflection on the Liverpool game before we get into other things, or just Arsenal in general as a football team before we get into the prizes and stay or go and stuff?
I was proud of the second half performance. Not gonna lie, I was. I honestly thought it was gonna be very, very dirty after that second goal went in. I thought it was gonna be disgusting. I was getting flashbacks to the 4 goals at Anfield when Arteta played, and it was the 5-1 with Suarez, Sterling, and Sturridge. It was like 4 goals in quick succession. My god, this is
the quick fires. Yeah,
and then Suarez slapped one from 50 yards on the crossbar. I thought, what am I watching? But we responded.
We did.
Do you know what's really interesting though, right from it? It is how important it is to simply be able to keep the ball. That was the biggest issue we had in the first half. There was nothing tactical. It was the fact we could not keep the ball. That was literally it. Genuinely.
I'd say having 9 first-team players out by the end probably also didn't help. That was probably, I would say, maybe the bigger factor. But that's just me. Henko said, "Can you tell the chat? That I don't gaslight you, Rohan?" Tell the chat, Rohan, you really enjoy recording with me, don't you? Don't you, Rohan?
I love doing this. I actually love it.
Jonathan K says, "We remembered Odegaard can still shoot." We did, Jonathan. He hit the ball hard,
and he did it against PSG as well.
Fair play to him.
So,
right. What was I trying to get to? Oh yeah, that was it. Let's start with Young Player of the Season nominees.
I remember when we did this last year, and we had a rant about it because certain players of a specific age are still in this category, which makes no sense to me, to be honest.
Who gets your vote? Young Player of the Season, Premier League nominees for 24-25. Liam Delap, Anthony Elanga, Ryan Gravenberch, Dean Huijsen, who we did an entire scout episode about, and then he went to Real Madrid, so that's a complete waste of time. Cole Pot, and he's so good as well, guys. He's absolutely...
Yeah, he's mustard
my
me.
Goodness me. There's this... I watched it again because I was watching the Bournemouth game back today, which is why I was late, because I was making great content for you guys, wasn't I? It's a sarcasm if people can't detect my tone. I watched it again today. There's this sequence where he takes the ball on his left, perfect touch, takes it forward with his right. It's literally just 3 touches and a pass, and it's like the smoothest, cleanest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's a joke. Cole Palmer, who I'm pretty sure went months without scoring.
After being talked about like he's Messi. Do you remember after it was against Spurs in December where they were waxing lyrical over Cole Palmer, calling him the flipping reincarnation of Messi. Then he didn't score for about 10 years. Now played well against Liverpool, very good game, and he's back as the reincarnation of Messi.
Still would take him. João Pedro, another player I'd take at Arsenal. Morgan Rogers, another player I'd take at Arsenal, and William Saliba from Arsenal. I don't think you should be 24 and allowed to be Young Player of the Season, but regardless, we've done that already. Was Miles Lewis-Skelly robbed, Rohan and chat?
Absolutely. 1,000,000%. Like, come on. We don't need to talk about the intricacies. He's been ridiculously good. How many bad games has Miles Lewis-Skelly had since he's came into the team in the Premier League? 1. And that was against West Ham, and he didn't even start that game.
He should be on the list.
Morgan Rogers there. We all saw that performance from Miles against Morgan Rogers at the Emirates. And that's just one of many players he's locked off. Not dribbled past once this season. That is ridiculous.
I don't think you should be allowed to be relegated and on this list. I'm sorry.
No, that's harsh. That's harsh.
Oh, no.
No, that's harsh.
No, you can't get relegated and be on the Young Player of the Season nominee.
Surely that shows.
No, because but then you could score 30 goals and get relegated, but that doesn't line up with my point, Rohan. So don't make it. Don't say that. that would discount what I'm saying.
Okay? I don't think Liam Delac should even be on here, to be honest.
Shouldn't.
No.
Good player, but
he shouldn't be on here.
Yeah, I'm annoyed about that, but
Miles should definitely be there. But...
Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher said he should have been on the list and he was robbed. He would be their Young Player of the Year.
What are you trying to say, Alexander?
How does that fit into your Sky Sports?
Why did you need to comment that?
Where are we? That was Young Player of the Season.
Mm-hmm.
Then we move on to Manager of the Season. Let me just get the list up. Give me 2 seconds. You should have prepped this earlier. Shut up. I was making good content for you. And now I can't find it. Present screen. Share screen. Window. There it is. Manager of the Season. Premier League nominees for 24-25 are Thomas Frank, Eddie Howe, Nuno Espirito Santo, Vitor Pereira, and Arne Lott.
No, it's not. It's like I've seen so many memes of it.
La 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 la. I don't hate that list, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean the Wolves manager.
Ange was snubbed, to be fair.
Ange was snubbed. The Wolves manager, he's done very well, but that's the only one which you're thinking maybe.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
There's not many standout stuff. I think there's been like a cluster of really kind of like a level playing field. But
just quickly on the Ange thing, did you see the interview he gave where he was basically like, there's 20 defeats this season or something. 20 league defeats.
It's ridiculous.
20. And he gets defensive and angry as if it's a mad question. Oh, Tottenham manager, a team who've recently been in the Champions League final, who should probably be, at least competing for Europe. Do you think it's not? How do you think about 20 defeats? Oh, the media are at it again, asking me mad questions. Shut up, bro. You've lost 20 games. Of course they're asking you that. And then he goes, yeah, stupid question, mate. But yeah, mate, basically, if we hadn't been, and then he says, if we hadn't been, I hate him so much because he's rude. I hate rudeness. No need to be rude. Literally no need. You're on way more money than these people. Just don't be rude to them. It pisses me off more than anything in the world. Glasner and Iraola are good shots as well, actually. Glasner or Iraola should be in over Vitor Pereira.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they should be.
Great shot.
I think Glasner, I'd give it.
We need to get Nathan Piper on the show. This guy cooks every time. What was I going to say? And he says, yeah, I think it's pretty obvious. If we weren't in more than one competition, we'd be doing better. Sorry, what? I'm actually going to find this clip. It's riled me so much. How rude he is as well. How rude. I sound like my mum.
It's just Alexander. Like Robert Holding. Can someone answer this? To me? How many appearances has Rob Holding had and Dan Barrow?
Here it is. George is Carragher. Yours is Rob Holding. Mine's Ange. Just worked out. Do you remember we asked that before?
Yeah.
Where is it? I'm going to find it.
Was this a recent?
Yeah, it was a recent clip.
He is very rude.
Can someone find? If anyone in the chat, because I can't find it. If anyone can find that clip, can you put it in the chat and I'll play it because it annoyed me so much. I have, Pavel. You're right.
Is
And finally-
this like a major victory for you? Like the demise of Ange Postecoglou, although he could be winning the glorious Europa League.
I love it more than you believe.
Who do you want to win that final next week?
United.
Yep.
United. I can't have Spurs winning a European trophy. It's just not. It's not acceptable. And finally, player of the season. Nominees are Morgan Gibbs-White, Ryan Havenberg. That's another thing. I don't think you should be allowed to be nominated for Player of the Season, Young Player of the Season. But what if someone has a great year and they're 18? Shut up. Don't try my logic. I just want more Arsenal players in there. Alexander Isak, Brian Mbeumo, Declan Rice, Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, and Chris Wood.
I think Tielemans is unlucky to not be.
I agree with that, actually. I agree with that.
Shout out to the likes of Johan Visser as well. Had a very good season.
I'd agree with that. Who do you think should win all three of those, please? Rohan?
Mohamed Salah.
Yep.
For this one. And young player from the options from the nominated players, right? Not our own individual.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. Who was in the young one again? Like
young player of the season was
Morgan Rogers, Elanga, João Pedro, Saliba.
Delap, Elanga, Havenberg, Huijsen, Palmer, Pedro, Rogers, and Saliba.
I'd give it to Havenberg.
Who?
Havenberg.
Don't need to say like that, mate. A bit weird.
Gravenberch.
Still trying to find this Ange clip. I hate him so much.
Okay, Rob Holding has had 10 appearances.
Oh, get over it.
Rants over Rob Holding are more valid than rants over Ange.
No, they're not.
They are.
Ange is the Spurs manager.
Yeah, Rob Holding caused me pain. Does Ange cause you pain?
Yes.
It doesn't cause me pain, I'll tell you that.
It causes me pain every day.
And then for manager of the season... I would have given it to Nuno, but they look like they're fading. Because I think a lot of people, and I don't know why, I think there are a lot of predictions that had Forest getting relegated this season.
I'm pretty sure I did.
What?
No, did I? I can't remember my... Don't quote me on that. I can't remember my predictions. I found it.
What? The Ange clip?
I found it.
Your eyes there.
Bro, I haven't listened to a word you said. I've just been looking for this looking for this Ange clip. Right, here we go. Listen to this. Can you hear it? Wait, is that sharing? No,
yeah,
wrong thing. I'm on the wrong one. Sorry, I'm on it. Right, can you hear this?
Can't hear anything right now.
What am I doing?
Oh, I've got a clue what you're doing.
Do I share my? Oh,
you were
God.
sharing. You were sharing something.
Yeah, but I don't think I was sharing. I don't think I was sharing my. Oh, sorry. Chrome tab also share audio. Here we go. Can you hear this?
Expressed it's a disappointing camp.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Terrific. Right, listen to this.
20 league defeats in the Premier League for this season.
20.
You've already expressed it's a disappointing campaign, but can you put your finger on why it's not been able to happen so consistently this season?
I don't need to put a finger on it. I think it's as plain as the nose on your face, but it's quite clear why we've lost so many games.
And so why is that, sorry?
Okay.
You're right. Absolutely mad.
I hazard to say that if we weren't in Europe, we had a Carabao Cup run, and since Christmas only had the league to concentrate on, I think our results would have been better.
20.
My guy, Ange.
My guy, Ange. Did you hear what he just said?
Keep him there.
Did you hear what this guy just said? He's an Arsenal content creator, and he just said, "My guy, Ange." Get him, chat.
Oh, you want someone better than Ange? Yeah, you.
No, I don't. Actually, please keep Ange.
Keep Ange, my guy.
Oogie Boogie says Rowan. Go on.
Ryan Gravenberch. You do it then.
No, it's for you, mate.
Go on, you do it.
I'm not saying I can pronounce it.
It's a super chat.
So you're saying that we should read out super chats when they ask us to pronounce things? I don't know why I'd do that.
Get on in with it.
Ryan Gravenberg.
That's awful.
Ryan Gravenberg. I've heard Ange Postecoglou say Havenberg. Havenberg. Right, we're doing it. Stay or go. If you missed me on Sky Sports.
I'm Alex. Last summer I wanted to get rid of Trossard, but now I want to keep Trossard.
It's called squad building, mate. It's called changing your mind based on information. That's just me, mate. That's just me, mate. Sorry, I have new opinions based on new information. Interesting. Stay or go. We're gonna do. Is that the entire squad? We're not gonna be. We're not gonna be messing around with any. Oh, but maybe we have to pick stay or go. And the first one is from Ben Arthur. Stay or go. Alex's hair. I vote go.
I vote stay.
Oh, thanks, Rohan.
It represents you.
Thanks, baby. We're gonna go through each one.
Have you got the loan players though? You've not got like some Lakonga and
No, I haven't. Sorry. Just the first teamers. Just the first teamers, the guys who've not been out on loan. Should we start with Riccardo Calafiori?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just gonna get closer.
It's just gonna get closer. Let us know what you think in the chat as we go along. Stay or go, my singing, says Louis Gerard. Let us know what you think in the chat as we move along. We've already had a go from Ant P. Is there an argument? I would put Calafiori in stay. Is there an argument you could even understand for go?
Not for me. It's a very special player. It's a diamond in the rough. It's not been able to have a run of games consistently to showcase his talent. He's fantastic. Stay.
Manto says stay because he's super hot.
Yeah, there is a worry there. I don't want any headlines in the papers with him. So do not be going Soho and all those places, please. You know exactly what I'm referring to.
Next up, Gabriel Magalhaes.
Stay.
This
more than you can believe.
For some of these, there's not going to be much of a debate. I think interesting. Mikhail recently referred to him as our best defender, and I would agree. Yeah, just like pure defensive attributes, different aspects of defending, over the shoulder, stepping forward, out wide, aerial duels, physical duels, domination, defending the box. What other aspects of defending are there? Positioning,
1v1s,
reading the game, composure, interceptions, blocks, clearances. Yeah, I think literally every aspect of defending, he is our best defender.
Yep.
Get that guy on a new deal, please, and get May. Oh, it's just so annoying.
What
if we'd had him at the end of the season?
Imagine those set pieces and the ideas from the throw-ins against PSG.
So painful. So painful. Kai Havertz. Let us know what you think of the chat. Stay or go?
Stay.
Stay as well. Why, Rohan?
I actually do think a lot of the hate towards Kai Havertz comes from preconceived biases that people have. I genuinely do think that because of where he was from the time we signed him. A Chelsea flop, if we're being completely honest, outside of obviously the Champions League winning goal. And there were a lot of different factors as to why he wasn't able to succeed there. He's not the first, nor will he be the last to not be able to succeed there consistently. But when we look at his time at Arsenal so far, I agree that the wages are hefty and he didn't warrant that. I don't even think he warranted the transfer fee, because I think as much as you look at the potential of Kai Havertz and the talent that he had and being touted as this wonder kid from Bayer Leverkusen, you have to look at his performances at Chelsea and isolate that. And he didn't warrant the money that we paid for him. But I think the transfer fee he has justified personally, because when I look at him in the run-in last season, he was our best attacking performer. And you're going to get one of the bingo cards there. operating at 100-point pace. Kai Havertz was a massive part of that. Kai Havertz was a massive part of that. And then when we go to this season as well, in the absence of Odegaard, he was the one who had to adapt his role and perform consistently up until late November. Then he had a really bad dip. Man United in the Cup, Newcastle in the Cup, really poor performances. But this is someone who has given Arsenal a lot of quality in different positions, the demands that we give of Kai Havertz in and out of possession, and the versatility that he has to show because of other players who have sustained injuries. I think he's a very valuable player to this squad and to this team. And I do think we've missed him big time as well. And for me, it's a hard stay. And I think that's a bit controversial. I think this one's a bit more 50-50 because of, I think it's the wages more with Havertz. And also I think there is that subconscious bias as well because of where he came from.
I think so. Also, the first couple of months, I do think how you arrive at a club really impacts things, and that's everything. That's where you come from. That's how you start. That's how, all those sorts of things. It sets a tone for the rest of your time there. Look, I think Havertz, I see him as he could, and I'm not saying he's perfect at all these things, but he can lead a line. He can drift out wide. He can drop in. He's an aerial target. He can score goals. He can lead a press. He can run you off the pitch. He's got a decent. Go on.
Outside of Declan Rice, in terms of less centre mid, out of possession, the press, Kai Havertz is our second best in that position.
I would agree with you, mate. I also, when we're talking about Odegaard, right? People talk about, the stuff Odegaard does out of possession. The one person that I would look at and say, I would be interested in seeing how you deal with being the person who leads us out of possession because of the physical quality you have in terms of your body. You can literally move. You have such long legs. You can move your body and you can run and run and run and be part of a functioning system and understand the triggers and be an intelligent player to know when to jump and all those sorts of things. I think I could see Havertz getting a good go at that. But yeah, I think we have players sometimes who you look back at any team and you go, they were in the team, this is a different quality level. But someone like an Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, where did he play for Arsenal? He played in various different positions, but people remember him for the skill set. It's a different quality level, different time, whatever. But there's always players in a squad, in whatever squad you have, who are not necessarily nailed on to one position and one way of playing and one thing, but can give you multiple different things. It makes them harder to judge. But to me, that you have to always push their versatility. You have to say he may not be the world's best striker or the world's best centre mid or the world's best second striker or the world's best potential right wing or the world's best aerial target. But when you build up all of those things together, someone who can do so many things, that really matters to me.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I think he gives this team so much. I don't agree that he is our highest paid earner. I've never agreed to that personally. He won't be by the time the summer is finished. You'd expect a lot of the big deals, a lot of the big contracts to be tied down, and the likes of Saka, Saliba on deals that should be of more money than Kai Havertz. Then it's a little bit more of a different conversation. So I just think he gives this team a lot. I do. He has had some bad periods at Arsenal, and it's very fair to say that. I think just before he got the big injury, and by the way, look at the number of minutes that he was playing this season as well, because of the unavailability of other players as well. That needs to be considered. But Havertz was having a really bad spell in the cups, in particular against Newcastle and Man United. But I think so far since he's came to Arsenal, if we're being objective, I know it's a season ago. Kai Havertz wasn't the reason Arsenal lost the league against Man City last year. In fact, Kai Havertz, had we won the league, had Hummingson scored that goal, and these are the finest of margins, we're looking at Kai Havertz in a completely different way.
Completely agree. Yeah, and I just, for a player, the wages are the big sticking point, and the fee, I think, is maybe, what did you say earlier, justified the value? I'd say maybe just got there. But I'm not.
It's a lot of money as well, though, isn't it? Yeah.
But my point is, I'm not sat there saying he's nowhere near it. He's just got there probably. If he'd stayed fit, who knows what he could have done this season. Look, I'm willing to go on Havertz. It's also, there is an aspect to this where I fully believe he is bought into whatever Mikel is trying to do, and that's a big part of it. And to be fair, a lot of the players are, but he feels really bought in. And I also think there's more to come from him from a creative passing perspective. I think there's more to come from him. I think his finishing. I was looking up. By the way, can I just tell people something? This is amazing. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. I didn't realize this till today, but I'm about to change some people's lives.
Are you going to go on about Havertz's performance on goals and expected goals?
No, but I'd love to hear about that in a second. Stats. This website, StatMuse. I might be on the wrong thing, but you can search. So, like most Premier League assists, 24, 25, and the algorithm or like the AI works out the thing you're searching. So you can literally search, Arsenal's highest XG per player or something, right? And you can get a list of it. Yeah, so there we go. Kai Havertz is top of the list. But basically, you search the stat you're after, which I absolutely love. It's like an AI that works out for you. But that is interesting. Kai Havertz has accumulated the most XG. But something I looked at earlier was Arsenal's. Okay, before I search this, people in the chat, who do you think, in terms of forward players, would be our highest for goal conversion? So converting shots into goals. Who do you think would be highest?
Well, since we're talking about Havertz, I'm guessing it's Havertz.
Okay, but who would you think it would be?
I'd think it'd be Trossard.
Interesting. So Arsenal's highest goal conversion, it might not be that. Sometimes it didn't quite work it out, but yeah, Arsenal's highest goal conversion percentage per player. Here we are. So obviously there is...
Oh, of course, yeah, Mikel Merino, yeah.
Certain players on there who, like, Calafiori, I think because of the amount of shots he takes, it's maybe a little bit unrepresentative. But Kai Havertz, for a guy who we think is, a little bit wasteful in front of goal, in terms of our forward players who play minutes, he's our top. So I think sometimes, and again, it's always
the issue with him is like the misses are like really bad misses, aren't they? Like, yeah. and they like, you saw the ones in the Cops, like they're really bad, and they're the ones that are easy to really look into.
Exactly, and you've always got to marry the eye test with what the stats say. You can't just go off stats, but equally, I do think that reputationally, Trossard will be way higher and Kai Havertz will be way lower. Right? Is that not fair?
Yeah.
So
no, that's fair.
Yeah, so I thought that was worth sharing. But yeah, it's a really good website. People don't want to have a look at it. I'm not being paid by them, just to be clear, unless they want to. Kai Havertz in stay. Is there anyone in the chat you'd say go? I don't think so. I think most people would say
no one said. We've had quite a few comments though since.
We come on to a slightly more complicated one. Gabriel Jesus.
We can't though, can we?
We can't. So yeah.
He has to stay. We can't sell him.
Yeah. I mean, he has to stay. Let's say for the sake of he'll have to stay, but let's say for the sake of argument, we could sell him this summer. What would you do?
Yeah, I would sell. Yeah.
Okay.
The time is right. Like, it's actually really. Do you know what? It actually hit me. When Mikel was talking about the injuries and he was highlighting every single individual, and where he emphasizes and stresses it a lot with Jesus. Like, we brought him back to life, and we did. Like, I was very shocked with seeing the performance. I mean, we could have used him against Crystal Palace. He seems to be the only one who does well against Palace this season. He's got 5 goals, but yeah, like his performances just before he picked up that injury against Man United. It's got him because he looked like the Jesus of old. But I just think, it's time. It's so sad because what he gave in that first half of 22-23, like the level was ridiculous.
22-23, 100-point pace. Yeah, I think I'd be interested. Yeah, I think because of the wages, I'd be interested in selling him.
Yeah, the wages are big. Yeah.
But also, there is an argument, and we'll come to other forwards in a second. There is an argument that because I don't know how much we'd get for him right now because of the wages and because of the how many years left is he got left on the deal?
I think he's got 2 years. I think.
Arsenal transfer. I think it might be 1 year.
I think it might be 2026 actually.
Yeah, this is my point. So Full squad details. Yeah, Transfermarkt says that his contract is up in 27. Okay. But yeah, I still don't know if we're looking to raise funds this summer, basically. I don't know how much we get for him if he was available. It would depend where he was going. For now, let's put him in stay.
Yeah, just put him in stay.
Jorginho is going, so probably not worth discussing too much. Right decision for you? I think it probably is, especially with Zubimendi available.
Yeah, I think with Zubimendi available, yeah. And yeah, I actually think Zubimendi is going to surprise a lot of people. Been watching more of him. And yeah, exactly what we need.
Yeah,
so.
he kind of, for me, alongside Rice especially, I think I'd be a little bit concerned in the very, very best games if it was Zubi and Marino. But
yeah.
We're
going to talk about this in a bit.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
so that would be my concern. But I think in terms of a complementary pairing, that really makes sense to me in terms of the tempo control, in terms of like, mate, the weight of pass and like the detail on the pass, the understanding. Like, he's one of those players you just need to watch a period of time for him, and you realize, okay, like in the same way like the Dean Huijsen thing, you see his value kind of over time.
And I'd highly recommend. I'd highly recommend watching the games for Spain. Like, it's very difficult to judge him in this Real Sociedad team. Like, I watched the game against Atletico Madrid last Saturday. I had some free time. I thought, let me put this on. By the way, Sorloth scored a hat trick in about 10 minutes, which was nuts. But Real Sociedad had barely any of the ball. It's like you can't judge what he's able to give in these sorts of games. Whereas when I watched him for Spain against the Netherlands, that was one I've been recently watching back. The value he adds. I'm just looking at the way Spain play and looking at the way Arsenal play and some of the things they do with their midfielders. It's what we actually tend to do as well. It doesn't really get focused because it's such small details.
Yeah.
And he just understands it really well. And it's nothing like really eye-catching. It's just the smallest of things.
And someone who can look after it in the middle of the park, someone who just like is so efficient technically, like is really, really important. And someone with a bit more, with a few, we see the impact. Like Jorginho and Rice at the beginning of 2024.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can see what that does for a team, just to have that control, that like ability to look after it in the middle of the pitch, ability to step up a little bit, his range of passing. Yeah, I'm really excited.
And he's better defense. He's better all round out of possession than Jorginho, significantly.
I would agree.
In my opinion.
I'd agree.
So
I'd agree.
Yeah.
I still think I have the concerns about him.
Yeah.
Defending large
Yeah, when
spaces.
the spaces open up, it becomes it is more towing a caravan. But when the distances are tighter, and also I think he's actually quite underrated box defender as well for his size.
I'll buy that. He's physically he can really look after it. It's just ahead of you. It's really nice. Kivior. So this is what we would want to happen, and for me, I don't know why, unless I get a massive offer for him. I don't know why I'd want him to go.
Yeah, I'm in the same camp now. I've changed my mind on this one. I think the availability thing with Kivior as well is very key because we have a pool of players there that have a lot of uncertainty given the current season that we've had with Calafiori, and then we know the turnover with Zinchenko and Tierney going. I think it could be a few too many going, and it needs to be a much bigger offer for me to like look into it. So
it's this simple. Unless you get a big offer for Kivior, tell me another third choice left centre back probably, and maybe third choice left back who could deal pretty well with Mbappe. Name me someone else. You can't give me that. So, and for a player on his wages, probably he needs to move on at some point. But if he's happy to stay, if he's happy to fight for his place, I think he could get minutes. He's also got minutes at right centre back. The angles aren't perfect for him, but he can play there. Unless you're giving me 30-40 million pounds for him, I'm not interested.
Yeah, I buy that. We've got leverage there as well, haven't we? So. Yeah.
And as Whole says, in my opinion, Kivior is a stay because as a Patreon and YouTube member, you get access to ad-free pods, rewatches, scouts with clips, data pods, access to the Discord server, and more. And this is the thing with Kivior is you do get access to the ad-free pods with Kivior.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you get access to the Discord server and you get priority questions on the main pod. This is the thing with Kivior. He's so
it's the ripple effect, isn't it, Alex? It's
the ripple effect. And unless you get scouted with clips, why would you sell him? You know what I mean? It just seems odd. So yeah, I'm in total agreement with you, Helmut.
Now it's getting a bit taster.
Gabriele Marcinelli. Okay. So I said go because I have to pick.
All right.
Okay. And you have to pick. Unfortunately, the terms of the game are not, you have to pick. And here's my reasoning. We're at a point in the project now where everyone, and I'm including everyone on this list, unless you are the best player in the world, we have to be looking at you and saying, can we get better? That's what we have to do. Is that fair?
Yep. Fair.
We have does it mean we can fill our team with 11 of the best players in the world? No, but we can try. We have a lot to do this summer. A lot to do. The only player who is the right side of 25, who is 2 years out from their deal, who is so basically in keep or renew time.
There is an option for a further year though.
Okay, reportedly, but okay, sure, I'll accept that. But is it a point where you need to start thinking about the contract regardless?
Yep.
Who is pre-peak, as I say, who is in an area of the pitch that requires a revamp, who is probably unsuited to the system, ideally. Mm-hmm. It's Martinelli. I believe, basically, my position is this. If you get 60, 70 million pounds for Martinelli, for me, you take it and you sell him. If you don't, we need to do something else at left wing. We absolutely have to, in my opinion. I can't excuse, I'm sorry, his goal contribution per minute for the last 2 seasons is something like 220 per minute and 216 per minute. He has not been good enough for 2 seasons. The perennial conversation we always have is about the system versus the individual. Okay, fine. The system could suit Martinelli better. But if you get him overlapping left back, you change Miles. You change Declan Rice. You change how we build up. You change how we attack. You change our counter press. You change our rest defense. If you get him more touches inside, you lose touches for Bukayo Saka. There is always a trade-off. Is this a talent? Ultimately, I'm invested in saying, I believe you are going to take us to Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. No, that's the guy on the other side. So I'm happy to have you. I'm happy to have you, but I can't build my team around you. And therefore, if I can't build my team around you, if I get a brilliant offer for you, considering your contract situation, considering there are players who I think more suited to that situation, I have to take it. So that's the reason. That's the time I'd say go. But ultimately, if we could look, put it this way, if we could get Rodrigo and Martinelli, oh my goodness me, that is the dream. But I'm looking at reality. I'm looking at how much we have to do this summer. I don't think you get crazy money for Trossard. He's only got 1 year left on his deal. It sounds like we're trying to renew. We're not going to be able to sell Jesus. There's no one else in our team who I look at and think we could get 60, 70 million pounds for you and probably still improve.
For me, I just don't think the squad's ready to let go of Martinelli with the other players that I have in mind to let go, like Trossard, which we'll probably get into. I think, yeah. If a fee, I think 60. I wouldn't really be entertaining 60 because I'm looking at the wingers that are being priced. You look at not Sancho, sorry, Anthony. You look at Mudryk. The value of these players and what they're going for. I'd definitely be thinking 70, 80 million would be what I'd be looking for Gabriel Martinelli. And people will say that's ridiculous. But again, like you alluded to, this is someone still pre-peak. He's had a phenomenal season, 22-23. You know the qualities that he has, the versatility he provides. He would thrive at a lot of clubs. Garnacho was quoted 70 million, I think, recently. Martinelli's better than Garnacho. Mm-hmm. So I think it'd need to be a bigger fee for me personally. And I think for me, like this team lacks a lot of pace, like serious lack of pace. And he is the one player who gives us that, at baseline. So it's like you said, every player has a price. But when we're talking about it just categorically, how I see the squad for next season, I want to keep him, and that's where I stand on it.
Okay. I think I'm basically at keep unless we get a big offer, but I want to layer on top. I can't watch another season of, for example, in his absence, mate, no Havertz and no Saka. And we Sell Martinelli, we lose the one proper runner we have. I'm suggesting we buy two. People are saying, I'm talking about this recently. People are saying, "Oh, you're going to lose depth." No, I'm saying you buy two players and sell Martinelli. This is my point.
Yeah, that's
fair.
I'm
not saying you get rid of your runners. I'm saying buy another runner. That's what I'm saying. And you sign someone who has that physical capacity, who can do all the stuff that Martinelli does. But we have to be realistic and say we have a player who's probably too good for the bench, but probably not quite good enough to really go all in on. That's my position on Martinelli.
How easy would it be to buy two players, let's say, in the same
Not necessarily.
Position, so that's the other conundrum that you have, isn't it?
Where not necessarily, but it depends what you do.
Money player, and then you buy a big money player, and then you look to buy someone else in. What's that other player going to be thinking when you bought the big money player in? So it's a very difficult one. But I think the big debate is Martinelli versus Trossard, who you let go, because one of them needs to go. I think this idea that Arsenal should be keeping Martinelli, Trossard, and then signing a centre forward and signing another winger is what they need to do for depth reasons. It becomes too many players.
Plus Jesus, plus Havertz, plus Daka. No.
Exactly. And this is what it needs to be. You buy in one forward at baseline, irrespective of sales. And then the next one coming in needs to be very much one in, one out. It has to be. Otherwise, you're hoarding players, and then we're going too far to the opposite side. So,
and for me, the reason you keep Trossard rather than Martinelli is because Martinelli to stay and to not tank the value will have to have a new contract.
I don't think his value will tank though in 1 year's time. Personally,
bro, he'll have 1 year left and having been on the bench, probably the bench for a year.
But that's why. But he'll be playing a lot of games though, won't he? He will be. He's not started every single game this season either.
Let me ask you a different way. Would you be as high on the talent if we'd signed him last summer?
No, but we've seen what he's capable of, though, haven't we?
We have, mate, but in a very different Arsenal team at a very different time I'm
with you. I'm with you on this, but I think when we're talking about Trossard and Martinelli, I would 100% rather get rid of Trossard, because when we're talking about a value that's going to be continuously depreciating, Trossard's going to be worse than Martinelli.
But we're talking relative scale. What Trossard might depreciate by 10 million, I believe Martinelli might be worth 80 million, go down to 40 million. That's my point.
Don't think so.
You depreciate the asset that much. I do believe you would. You also, mate, I'm sorry. At some point, you have to kill your darlings. We absolutely love Martinelli. We want him to succeed. But I'm sorry. If I was looking at a midfield, if I was watching put it this way. If I was watching a Spurs stream and they were talking about this, and I heard that they were saying a guy who's put up, I think it's like 10 GA in 23-24, and I think it's like, I don't know what it is, but the numbers are not good in 50 appearances. I'd be going, you're absolutely mad. We are in love with Martinelli.
For me, it's not. I don't think for me it's that. I just think with the squad that we have right now. And I think again he will renew his contract this summer. I think that's my feeling, right? Okay. And it's 2027, and I'm pretty sure it is an option for a further year. I don't think his value will tank. I think he will have more than enough opportunity to play games next season with competition, and for his value to still stay there, especially when you consider his age. Whereas I think with Trossard, I just think Trossard, we're going to start to see a player that's going to dip more. We're going to see someone who's going to dip more in terms of productivity and performances. That's why I felt this summer is the perfect summer to let go of Trossard. I didn't agree last summer was the perfect one, because when you're talking about the money that we would have got for Trossard and bringing someone else in who could have been as productive, I don't think you're going to be able to do that. So whereas this summer, we should have money to spend. Absolutely should. So I'm not looking too much into the financials here. I think Trossard should be the one that we let go, because he doesn't have as valuable assets to what the squad needs in terms of the pace than Martinelli.
But if you're signing two players, you keep that pace. I also think Saka needs a new contract. Saliba needs a new contract. Gabriel needs a new contract. Martinelli, if you want to sign him, needs a new contract, but in this different situation. Mm-hmm. That's three players going on late 200s, early £300,000 a week. It's not going to come cheap. We want a centre forward and we want a wide player. Yep. We want probably another midfielder. We might need another left back. We might need a centre back. We might need a goalkeeper. There's so much to do. I'm not. If we can keep Martinelli and do everything else, sign me up. Absolutely sign me up. But because of the situation that we find ourselves in, and I believe we probably won't have the money to do everything we need to do. I think we need to make a sale, in my opinion. I'm looking at the sales. I'm looking at a player who. Do you think Martinelli is suited to what we do in terms of?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. No. But I think, like the Liverpool game, what frustrated me there, and this is where I am with George, and I do stand by this, is that if you do use Martinelli in a certain way, he can be very effective, more effective than a Trossard that we've seen this season in terms of productivity in certain games. But I just think this team. I don't see a world in which Arsenal sign 2 wingers, right? I don't see it. So we need to keep one of them, and I'd rather keep the one that gives us something that we still lack in.
I'm not saying we sign 2 wingers. I'd say we'd sign 1 to replace Martinelli, and you sign a forward. So basically, your forward group becomes a new centre forward, a new winger, Jesus, Havertz, Saka, Trossard. Trossard's your 6th player, basically. That would be a forward group for me. That makes a lot of sense, and I think we could. It would look as I keep saying, if we could keep Martinelli and sell Trossard and sign a new winger and sign a new centre forward, sign me up every day of the week. He's obviously the better player, but in terms of making sense in squad building, because of the lack of suitability to me with Martinelli, because I think we could cash in and make a lot of money, because I look at the output of that player. And I think he would suit a very different system. I think we've overrated Martinelli because we love him. If you look, ultimately, I look at it like this. If I was on that Spurs stream, and I heard about a player who 19. Let me try and find the stats. But 1920. Actually, I think I've got them somewhere. Where is it? Just give me a second. I'm trying to find his stats from his output, basically. And it's not all output. He does a lot of stuff out of possession. I'm not trying to just be reductive and be like, it's all about numbers, bro. It's not. There's other things going on. Here we go. Right, I got them. So these are his numbers in the Premier League. Let me just share them. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry. Stop my screen. Present. Window. Here we go. If that was a Spurs player, I'm sorry, I would say that is an outlier. I wouldn't say I've seen that and therefore that's who he is because I've seen this. I'd say that was an outlier season. I'm sorry, like that is what I do. I think we're in love with the talent. And in order to progress, we might have to make a difficult decision. As I keep saying,
if you get a massive fee for him, for sure, you can. I'm more than happy for if Arsenal get an £80 million offer for Gabriel Martinelli this summer. Yeah, fine. That's cool because that's big money. He's already on big wages as well. I think he's on 180k. You have to entertain that.
Yeah,
but it's not. It's we're looking at it from a situation where it's kind of like the same conversation with Kivior, isn't it? In the sense of you get a big offer for Kivior, you entertain it, and then you look to cash in when his price is really high.
Yeah.
But we have to look at it from where we'd like it, when what we think the squad will be next season, and some of the players that we think are more feasible to go, and the players who add more value. I still think Martinelli adds more value than Trossard. So.
We say these are the numbers for all of our attackers except Saka. Exactly. That's why I'm wanting a new centre forward and a new left winger, mate. that's my point.
One of them needs to go though.
Look, yeah, exactly. Well, Nelly's not overrated. He's being misprofiled. Okay, this is my whole thing. Okay, I agree with you. He is being misprofiled. Okay.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
The answer to that is to build the system better around him. Okay, what does that look like? That looks like an overlapping fullback. That means moving Erdegaard. That means probably that or getting a different midfielder in. That means getting him more inside. That means taking touches away from other people. It's not just we can't build the system around everyone. Someone has to miss out. And the question is, would you rather build it around players like Declan Rice, around Bukayo Saka, around Kai Havertz, players like that who are able to stretch to more different types of game states, or are you wanting to do it around a more limited player? For me, I know my answer. And I'm not disagreeing that he's been misprofiled. He isn't suited to the left. I think there's lots of things he doesn't do. A lot of this is on Arteta, but the solution is just to suit him. Well, then you take other things out. Who's the fault? We all want Miles in the team, right? Where does Miles go if he gets an overlapping fullback? It's not. I think people go, he's being misprofiled and then we just need to fix it. Well, what is that fix? It doesn't look very comfortable for a lot of people. It changes Rice's role. It changes the touches Saka gets. It changes Miles' stuff. Like someone loses. So for me, it makes more sense to move away from him.
It's an interesting one.
For now, though, let's assume we don't get that offer. So I'll put him in stay. Let's assume we don't get that offer. I'll put him in stay. Mikel Merino. I feel like you've got stronger opinions about Merino than me.
I'll be honest. The only thing that is like pushing me to stay is because of the amount of work we have to do. Right. I'll be honest with you, mate. I said this to George. I've said it to both of you for a very long time. I'm very worried about Mikel Merino personally. I'm very worried about him because I look at Let's look at our squad come next season. Yeah. Let's say Thomas Partey goes. Let's say Jorginho goes. So bring in Zubimendi, right? And we've got Rice. Where are our legs in midfield if Rice sustains an injury?
It's a concern.
Where is it? Where is it? It's not there. Mikel Merino tows a caravan. And the thing with Mikel Merino, he's a very smart footballer. That's the thing with him. He's very intelligent. And I think higher up, I put a tweet out. It's very nerdy about what Mikel Merino offers higher up in terms of the spaces he occupies, how he drifts wide, the advantages it gives to other players. He does some really good stuff. But mate, in deeper areas, he's so clunky. I can't. It's actually painful to watch, and it's not fatigue. We've seen it many times this season against Man United. Saw it against Monaco. Saw it against Everton at home. Like it's a worry for me personally because I'm looking at our midfield right now, and I'm worried about the impact of losing a Declan Rice and where the legs are. It's probably Kai Havertz in midfield, or obviously a Miles will be going into midfield as an option there, but it's not. It doesn't give me confidence. And I think with Mikel Merino, his best performances have come centre forward. He's had good games in midfield. I think he's improved since the turn of New Year. But the issue I have with this is, and George was asking me these questions, like, why do you think, he looks more secure at centre forward when he drops versus midfield? And the reason why is because at centre forward, you have a centre back on you, at least one, all times. It's not exclusive to Arsenal. That is common practice in football. So when he drops, centre backs aren't always willing to meet him that high up. Not all of them are. Some will. A lot of teams do tend to do that. Like Fabian Schär, for example, he'll go all the way in, like he did against Declan Rice for the turnover they scored in the Cup. So he doesn't always have someone on him, so he has a little bit more time and space. But when you're in midfield, you always have someone on you, especially at the end. You've got one of the pivot players always on you. Yes, you can do certain things to give yourself an overload that gives you a bit of space, but he's not comfortable. And I think then the out of possession concerns in terms of when the distances get big, Mikel Merino, we saw it at Anfield. We saw it with Thomas Partey. They're nowhere to be seen because they can't keep up to the pace of it. So I think I'd keep him because of how much work we have to do. But I'll be honest, I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit worried about the midfield in terms of the legs and lack of legs. So I know it's a bit of a rant, but yeah.
No, I agree. It's good analysis. I think, Merino, I think for a player in his squad role, similar to Trossard, like I have to see upside in 4 or 5, maybe even positions. Like, and I think we've seen 2, but also limitations. And as I agree, the deeper on the pitch he gets, the more I worry about him. Like, so it should be someone like a Kai Havertz, who, again, I'm not saying is a world-class midfielder or a world-class second striker or a world-class centre forward or a world-class right winger or whatever, but you could see what he can do there. I think Merino really has suited that centre forward role for the reasons you mentioned. Isn't perfect. The left centre mid role, I think, as you said, the distances are bigger. But yeah, I wouldn't trust him as a 6. I wouldn't trust him as an auxiliary left back. I wouldn't trust him on the right of midfield. I wouldn't trust him dropping into centre back. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of limitations.
There's limitations there, and I think I think someone said in the chat, we played Jorginho and Partey together, and they don't have legs. Yeah, exactly. We saw that against Spurs when we played Spurs away from home. What did Mikel say? We couldn't play a certain game because of who we had in midfield. He was alluding to that, right? It's a serious problem. I remember when we played against Girona in the. Do you remember that game in the group stage of the Champions League? And I think it was Jorginho and Mikel Merino, and we did some really good stuff in the final third. But the moment we lost it, my God, just like there's the forward line, there's Mikel Merino and Jorginho, and there's our back line. You've got this sea of space. They can't keep up to the pace of it, and that's the worry I have. And I'm thinking to myself, man, we might need another midfielder with some legs, because it's kind of like there's this frustration of, Arteta's going for dual winners. It's like, okay, but we've started to like move more towards a Zubimendi, which is absolutely needed. We need more passes in this team, but Mikel Merino, I'm not convinced. Now my eye is firmly on you. I know he's done really well at centre forward. He has picked it up in certain games in the field, but
look, without that Havertz injury, we're looking at quite a worrying season, aren't we?
Yeah.
And like, he's done great there. I don't want to take that away from him. He has been terrific, and hopefully that gives him a boost to kind of. I also think physically he does look a bit better than when he first joined. I think he looks a little bit quicker to the ball. But yeah, I think it has to be stay.
But I'm a bit worried.
But yeah, it's a concern for sure.
Yeah.
Kieran Tierney is in go because he's going back to Celtic. Norberto Neto obviously will be going back to Bournemouth. Martin Ødegaard.
You gotta keep him.
Keep him.
Do you believe in him, Alexander?
I
do.
I think it's similar to Martinelli in a weird way, in that I just see his limitations, and therefore I can't get too attached to him.
Yep.
And I feel I just feel, again, the story. I think similar to Martinelli, his story at the club prevents people from, I think, being fair.
He's a lot more credit in the bank, though, doesn't he?
There's a lot, and by the way, that's justified.
Absolutely.
But I just the more I just look at clubs like PSG and Madrid and City and Bayern and Barcelona, the clubs who win, by the way. They just operate differently to us, mate. They just operate differently. They don't spend the hours we do going, yeah, but if you got him and if you did this, and if you signed that guy, and if you moved him there, and if you got those touch, they just don't do that. I'm not saying those things aren't true. They are true. It's just not the argument, I don't think. And for me, I think with Ødegaard, I have to be honest, I want more running power centrally. I have to be honest, I want someone who can take shots from the situations he's in. I need to see more. I just need to see more. So he's in stay and he's in my team, but I'm also looking at him in the first half of next season, and I'm saying, I need new stuff.
I think that's fair, but in the context of this, you're keeping him, aren't you? So
yeah. No, I'm absolutely keeping him, but I'm so desperately keen to win, and I don't want to have conversations. George said it. I don't want to squint to see your talent. I don't want to have to squint. And I feel like with Merino, we squint. With Ødegaard, we squint. With Martinelli, we squint. With Havertz, occasionally we squint. We don't need to squint with Saka or Gabriel or Rice or Saliba or Raheem Sterling. You know what I mean?
I think Ødegaard will be different next season with greater quality across the front line, more pace, more runs.
I think so. With two new forwards, I think he takes a leap up. And also, who knows what's going to happen in terms of, maybe he has surgery in the summer and stuff. Let's see. He has time for me. He has time. Budishad says, Gabby is a weapons grade menace on tired legs. Keep, NH says, Calla struggles defending out wide but has legs. Midfield role possible.
Not for me, no.
Not for me. I think we've both said
that's the left centre back, Calafiori.
Yeah.
But left back he can still give a lot. But
yeah.
It's actually really frustrating because I think Calafiori is now he's painted as this bomb defensively, but he's just a stronger defender centrally. Like at centre back, it's a different game. Like go and watch some of the games at Serie A against lots of Osimhen and some of these physical battles that he had. He was fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to Calafiori next season. Hopefully he can stay.
If he can stay fit, it's going to be really exciting because I can see some rotation. You know, Gabriel and Saliba played a lot of minutes, mate. Yeah. And I'd love to see a little touch of rotation here and there. Thomas Partey.
go?
I think go. We're talking about football. I think go. And the reason is because I want Arsenal to sign 2 midfielders. I think basically the Jorginho replacement is Zubimendi, and I want to sign another midfielder. I said this on Sky. I can't look past the individual errors. Atalanta and Chelsea and Villa, the 2 against PSG. I'm sorry. It's for a 31-year-old midfielder. It's unforgivable. Like his box defending this season has been unforgivable, and he's
always been suspect in box defending.
He's been good at points this season, but when someone's costing you 6-7 goals over the course of a season, and I can see better midfielders out there on the market, and I can see your legs going. For me, I don't want a new contract. I'm sorry, and I am genuine. I'm just talking football. I really am.
In terms of football, right? I think he's actually had a really strong season, but you see the frailties, and you see a player who physically is not there anymore as well. This is not 22, 23 Thomas Partey. When I'm talking about Mikel Merino tone, a caravan, Thomas Partey is also struggling when these distances increase now. Like it's a concern. And I think with Thomas Partey, the PSG game, the second leg, he was atrocious, absolutely really atrocious, and some of those mistakes, and you're not really frustrated. Like if you go back and look at Liverpool's second goal, right? Do you know what it comes from? It comes from a second ball situation where Thomas Partey just needs to collect it, keep it simple, keep the ball, bounces off his kneecap. Liverpool win the ball back, and they quickly into our box, they score. Those are the things that really frustrate. And it's that level of unreliability that Thomas Partey gives as well. That's really difficult for me to look past. And he's had a very good season, I think, overall in terms of availability, and I think he's had some really consistent games. But yeah, it's time to go now.
It's just time to move on. And and if he gets another contract, it's a bump in wages. He's already one of our highest earners. I'm just not having it. I'm sorry. David Raya stay, easy stay. Yeah. I think I saw you talking about it. People are just thinking their way in and out of why David Raya is bad.
I think it's really interesting, isn't it? Because it's kind of like I've not watched Joan Garcia. I've not seen a single minute of Joan Garcia. He might be this fantastic prospect. What everyone is saying he is, right? That's more than fine.
He is, by the way. He's great.
Yeah, but David Raya has been performing at a world-class level since December 2023. Like
it works both ways. You don't have to squint to see talent. You don't have to squint to try and find issues. You probably could. Everyone's got issues, but when you have a player who is consistent, reliable, pretty good at saving penalties at this point, by the way, in clutch moments, is one of the leaders in the press. Someone I completely trust as like a second centre back. Okay, maybe he isn't the tallest. And if we can get Joan Garcia done and he's happy to sit on the bench behind Raya for a year and battle it out, fine, whatever. But it's just not like, let's not go there, because there are people who just...
Let's not look for a problem that is not there. No, I don't like this.
Completely agree. It works both, but doing my point, it works both ways in terms of squinting. Like, don't squint to see a problem, but don't squint to try and avoid a problem. Declan Rice stay. Literally, no point even discussing it. Bukayo Steka. William Saliba in stay?
Absolutely.
Raheem Sterling in stay. I just think with Sterling, I think what he's shown us on this loan deal is a physical capacity that he's still got. I think he's still got
elite turning radius.
Legs for the top level. I think he really cares. I could really feel the passion for the game. I think the fact he came off the bench when we were looking for goals in the PSG leg was really indicative of how Arteta sees him. I think it's really important that people see that. And look, the thing is professional footballers don't have like personal lives and sort of like things going on. So there's no way he could have just given up and be taking the money. There's absolutely no way. So I think it's really important he stays. So it saves his job in the summer. And yeah, I think I can't see us winning anything next season without him.
I agree with everything you've said there. So I think we should go to the next player. What were you doing there?
Honestly, mate,
Let's move on.
I'll say one thing. I saw you, and we've disagreed about this, and Sean Dyche said it this morning, and I thought I should mention this tonight. He said there are players who don't try in Premier League football, and I'm telling you, Raheem Sterling is one of them. I'm telling you, we think because we don't know them, we think it's all just they're constantly. He's not trying. I'm telling you.
I actually want to listen to that Sean Dyche.
It's really interesting. I mean,
he's
it's
very smart. You know, he because he has there's this image of Sean Dyche, right? As this Yadar. It's like,
what?
Just Yadar. But mate, he's a very, very clever man. Like his knowledge of the game is fantastic, and you gotta respect it.
Yeah,
he's a top coach.
I mean, he is very much like, why are they building for the back? And he's very much
he is. Yeah, but
when in my day, a midfielder was just a midfielder. It wasn't a 6, wasn't an 8. It was a midfielder. But he's very. You can see him, and you can see his impact. He comes in, gets the base. I think his phrase was like strong, fit, and committed, or something like that. I'm telling you, there's players in the Premier League who don't try, and Raheem Sterling's one of them. Don't take it from me. A Premier League manager has told you there's players in the Premier League who don't try. If you had to pick someone in the Arsenal team who isn't trying, I think he's a decent candidate.
But maybe everyone at Arsenal tries.
Everyone at our beautiful club tries.
With the exception. Sunflowers.
During Timber, stay. What a campaign for this man. What a campaign.
Are we all buying my best 1v1 fullback at Arsenal since Ashley Cole?
I've used it. I passed it off with my own analysis.
Good man. What Vaseline is that one? Is that the coconut one?
The aloe vera.
Get the coconut one. It's better.
Yes, Dad.
Good. Got fresh lips in it.
Thoughts on Timber?
Fantastic.
Yeah, we don't need to do too much on, to be fair. Actually, we've only got a couple of minutes left, so we left sort of 4 fairly complex discussions. Tomiyasu, stay, but it's his final year.
He's the one that it's so frustrating because he would save us a lot of money in terms of the back line and what we'd have to do. Because right now I'm looking at the right centre back / right back as an area of concern with the volume of minutes that White, Timber are having to rack up. And then Saliba, how you're going to rotate him. Although I do think Calafiori, I've always felt with Calafiori there's potential there in that Saliba role as a backup. But
I'd agree actually.
But I've always felt that no one's going to agree to it right now because we've not had any meaningful games of Calafiori at centre back anyway. But I think Tomiyasu, if you told me Tomiyasu was fit and available, right, we wouldn't need to go in the market for a right centre back / a right back. Yeah. Because he can do it.
He's so good. He's so good across all 4 positions. And by the way, you know what? My point earlier about like we get attached to players. You need to know when you're attached to a player. I'm attached to Tomiyasu. I want him to succeed at Arsenal.
Yeah.
I'm
so likable, isn't it?
So likable. So like maybe this probably is affecting my analysis, but I also think with Tommy, if you can get that asset fit by the start of the season and he stays fit and plays minutes, that is so useful because he'd sign a new deal like that.
Yeah,
he would stay. He's reliable, dependable. I trust him in all 4 positions across the back line. He's experienced. Like if he can, he's the sort of player who basically maybe I even give him till January. It's that sort of thing where you go. That's the sort of thing.
For me,
I go like,
yeah, for me, it's kind of like if there was the opportunity for Arsenal to get rid in the summer, I would do it now. I've had enough personally, but we can't get rid of him, so. He can prove he's got an opportunity to prove himself next season. A bit of availability. So
yeah. Trossard. Considering this list is based on if we don't get a big offer for Martinelli, then he's in go for me because I'm signing two new forwards.
Yeah, he's the one for me to go personally. So yeah,
fair enough. I think Trossard's been brilliant. I mean, like. As a signing, as a professional, I think he's been brilliant. But I just think, if we can get a decent offer from Saudi or whatever it might be, like I would love that. As I say, I do think because of his versatility, because of his experience, because of his quality in terms of the game states he can come into and affect. Like coming off the bench, I look at Trossard and say, "You're going to change something for me. I'm going to see something different." And I don't think that's a quality that's very easy to find.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit reluctant, but if I'm signing a centre forward and a wide player. And I'm having Martinelli on my bench, then fair enough.
I mean, what you just mentioned there about the positives there with Trossard, just a few of the things you mentioned. That's why I wanted to keep him last summer. It's exactly my reasoning for it. And I think when we're talking about value for money, him and Jorginho have been top servants. Like same window they came in, and they've done their job. They've done their job.
I was saying sell Trossard last summer because I thought that would be his peak value, and I thought we were signing a player. And by the way, I was probably right. To be clear, like I think if we were going to get £30 million from Saudi, that probably will be his peak value. But
who are you going to get for 30 million though? But who are you going to get for 30 million though? That's the problem.
Well, no, that goes towards a forward. The point is if we were getting if we last summer had signed Nico Williams, there's no point in having Trossard around. Do you know what I mean? Ben White, stay.
Yep, stay.
Interesting season coming up for Ben White.
Yeah.
Might be a season where we all
because he's ran himself into the ground for this club. You can tell he's like, I actually thought against Liverpool that was the most dynamic I've seen Ben White since he's came back. There were some moments defensively that 1v1s are never his strong aspect of his game, but I actually really liked what I saw from him going forward. It felt like the Ben White of old, and yeah, he's gonna have a good season next year.
I hope so. I really hope so. And again, you see City. Who's in their midfield potentially? Wirtz, Rodri, Reinders, Gundogan, Nico O'Reilly, Nunez. Who else am I forgetting?
Well, they've got Bernardo,
McAtee, Bernardo. Like the talent is a joke. Like the amount of let's not because we're gonna have injuries. It's Arsenal.
This is what I mean, yeah, exactly.
And it also means we can give Saliba a little bit, in certain games in the Premier League, maybe home games against bottom half teams. I think, Saliba can maybe play 45 minutes, get the game won, and get him off type thing. And yeah, just being more cautious. Dane Howarth says Trossard was the second highest goal scorer in all comps in 23-24. To be honest, I know I don't know how he was saying that, but that to me is more alarming than impressive. Like I take that more as like, we need some better players then, rather than like, well done, Trossard. Do you know what I mean?
I think he's been. I've been happy with Trossard pretty much every season for what we've paid for him, for the wages he's on. Yep. I've got no problems with Trossard. I just think it's the right time to let him go now. So,
finally, Alexander Zinchenko.
Another good servant, I think. Personally, I think he's overhated because of his deficiencies that everybody knew when we signed him. So you accept that. What he gave to the team, yeah, and now the time's up to go. Yep. I've got no issues with Zinchenko. Again, another player who's overhated when we're looking at things that he's never been good at. You're criticizing Zinchenko for the things that he has always been weak in.
I would agree.
Yeah,
so I would agree. And the team just moves on. It's not the end of the world. I think we'll get a decent fee for him and move on. So the final list is Ricardo Calafiori in stay, Gabriel in stay, Havertz stay, Jesus, Kivior, Martinelli with no offer. I would say over 60. Rohan says over 70 or 80. Marino stay, Odegaard stay, Raya, Rice, Saka, Saliba, Timber, Tomiyasu, and White all stay. In go, Jorginho and Kieran Jorginho, Kieran and Neto are all going anyway. Partey, Trossard, and Zinchenko also go. And right in that bin,
be nice,
is the other one. Got a couple of minutes until we hit the hour and a half.
Yeah.
Let's do some questions, Rohan, Arnia, Ronaldo. I am actually having a meeting with George and our new producer. Have we spoken about this on the pod?
New producer?
We've got a producer on the show now.
Is it?
To try and fix things like your audio.
It's not that bad today, is it?
No, it's fine today.
Yeah.
We are just finishing up. Give us 5. What is expected money from those outgoings? Says Dylan.
Not a lot. Well, in our list, I was thinking about that, just looking at the players that we're letting go.
Thumbnail check. Thank you for reminding me. Thumbnail check from Forder.
Yes.
I'm a Silly Billy Award, is what I am. He sent me a new thumbnail. Here it is. Save to downloads folder. This is the thumbnail. There it is. There's a lot going on.
Film, isn't it? Sesame Street, the musical or film?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it is.
There is a lot going on in this. Has to be said.
It's very vibrant, isn't it? Very colourful.
Got Kai Havertz down here. Got Zinchenko down here. We've got, I think that's Ødegaard. We've got. I do look quite old there, don't I? Yeah, you do, mate. Saliba on the shoulder. Where's the Rohan?
I found it. There it is.
Oh, there. That's good. Big fan of that. Hidden Rohan. There's a hidden Rohan in the latest TDK video that's coming out tomorrow.
Is it?
Which people can look up if they want to. My editor was like, let's put a hidden Rohan in there. I like that. Lots going on. Lots to look at. Chat, what are we saying? Out of 10.
9 out of 10 for me.
9 out of 10 for you?
Yeah, it's quite vibrant, isn't it? It's really colourful. There's a lot going on. It's... Yeah.
I'm giving that Forder. I'm giving that a 7.5.
You disgraceful person.
That's what I'm giving it. But Rohan loved it.
Yeah, I like it. I like the colours.
Big fan. You like the colours?
Yeah.
I like the colours. 9 out of 10 says Noah. 6 too busy. 7. 8. 9. Oh. 8 out of 10.
What was it? I didn't. Hold on.
Logical Nonsense says 6 out of 9.
Wait, I wanted to see the 9. Oh, God.
FM Finn says, thoughts on Xavi Simons as a market opportunity?
Yeah, I think that would be a very good sign.
I suppose this summer, maybe we can finish it off on this. I always split it into needs, wants, and likes. Need. I would say I actually think we need 2 centre forwards, but arguably it's just one. Sorry, 2 forwards.
2 forwards, yeah.
2 forwards. I think we need 2 forwards, but arguably you could say 1. And I think we need another midfielder. Probably a 6'8". I think we could get away with another year with if you get Vieira back, Waneri, Ødegaard. Like, again, I would want to, but I'm talking needs. So those are my 2. I think another 6'8", because I'm assuming Partey goes. I mean, I'd maybe even say you need 2, but certainly need 1.
What, on top of Zubimendi?
Yeah.
I'm
assuming
that, you know.
I'm assuming Partey. No, but I'm assuming Partey goes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So then you need a 6'8", and I would say you need with legs, and you need a forward. Those are the 2 you absolutely can't. You cannot get away with that. Then want a creative midfielder like Xavi Simons. I would want that. I would, if you haven't got in the want category another forward, then you I really want that, another forward, a wide player probably. I would want a backup goalkeeper. Maybe that's even in need potentially.
It's a need. It is a need.
Yeah, maybe that's a need. What are you feeling about midfielders? Defenders.
I'm in 2 minds here. I think we do need a right centre back / right back because of the options that we have. We have Saliba, Timber, and Ben White. I think Calafiori has a lot of potential as a Saliba understudy in that role, but I don't know if Mikel sees it that way. We have Ben White and Jurriën Timber have had big injuries, you know, in the minutes that they played, specifically Timber this season, and the volume of minutes Saliba has played. I think that's a bit of a concern to me. I personally think that's more important than a left back.
Yeah. If Saliba,
especially if you're keeping Kivior, you've got Miles there, you've got Calafiori. I'm a lot more comfortable there.
Yeah, again, a lot of it depends on Tomiyasu, so whether we gamble on that depends how he's recovering. But yeah, I think we can't. If you told me now, if we didn't have Tomiyasu next season, we don't sign a centre back, which is why I think we're linked to Højsund, that Saliba broke down in March or April, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Yeah, I think we need one.
Yeah,
that's more important to me than left back.
Dane says, who would you loan out? Hein again or keep him and not spend on Garcia? Nichols, who else? I'd sell Vieira, Lokonga, Tavares, Nelson, and Zinner. Yeah, I'd probably agree with all those sales. The Vieira one depends on the price.
I'd want to keep Vieira. I want to see what he looks like next season. Sorry. But again, it's all price dependent.
It's for me. Vieira's price dependent. If you're getting 40-45 million for Vieira, you sell him. But if not, then you keep him and you see how he looks.
And I love Reece Nelson. I've always felt Reece Nelson has so much to give, but I just think for him, it's better for him to.
It's time. I don't think that's even a question for me. I think that's a sell. Tavares is a sell. That's gone. I think Lecong is definitely a sell, and Zinchenko is definitely a sell. In terms of Garcia, again, it's all what we can do. It's all what we can do, right? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I missed some super chats. Nathan Piper, I would love to have seen a Tommy Calla centre pair.
Yeah, I would as well. Yeah.
Yep, I hear that. I do think like we need to. We look at our injury situation this season. We need to find ways of Gabriel, Saka, Saliba sitting down without it absolutely ruining our entire flow.
Literally.
And I think that's one of them. Tomiyasu actually has a massive impact potentially this season.
Yep, that scares me.
Yeah, because right now you're not sure. In terms of who else to loan out, no one, I don't think. But yeah, like Garcia just depends on what else we're doing for me. Abu90, prediction on Man U versus Tottenham final. Score.
I think Man United won 2-1.
Oh, I think United win it, but I think it's close.
Yeah, it's close.
I think it's a Harry Maguire header, 1-0.
Battle of the bums.
Battle of the bums. So, can we just look at it?
Let's end the stream.
No. But can we just look at it? I'm so sorry.
Okay, go on.
This is the fact. This isn't. I mean, the thing is people have got used to it, which is why it isn't. But this should be the only thing being talked about.
Disgraceful.
That the reason it's not is because it's not going to sell because people know about it. People are bored of the story of United being rubbish now, so they just moved on. But that, I'm sorry.
Disgraceful, isn't it?
Incredible. Rohanicals, thank you as always.
No worries. Always good.
We'll be back with an instant reaction for the game on Sunday. I cannot be there though, so it'll be George and James because I am going to the game. I think I'm on live from N5, so you can see me. Rohan will not be in this reaction because he hates the Cannon podcast. We have a Dean Hoyson scouted out, which you can go check out if you want to fall in love with a player that we're not going to get. But we've got some stuff coming next week in terms of like season review stuff, which we'll get to. So yeah, stick around. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And thank you for being here on the Cannon podcast. Arsenal are going to win something, and we're going to be there every step of the way. It's going to happen. Alejandro says, I love you guys. Let's hope for a great next season. Absolutely. Thank you, Alejandro, for your super chat. Thank you all for your super chat. Thank you all for being here all evening. Thank you, Rohan.
Nice one.
Thanks, as always, for watching. And thanks for keeping Arsenal.
Tens of thousands of football fans came to Highbury. Electrifying.